Camerino and 3 of his little friends went into the woods looking for food. They were looking for little ground nuts and berries that were dried up on the trees that had fallen on the ground. While they were out in the bush, radical Islamic troops came into that area and saw these little boys, and they began to pursue them. What happened next was unbelievable. The Islamic soldiers surrounded the boys who were hiding in the tall grass, and they literally lit the grass on fire.
The next morning, we got up very early, packed up, and headed back. We were going back to Nimale. And on the way, we had stopped in this little village called Moli. And there was a commander there that Ray was going to interview. And as we were getting all set up and getting ready to do this interview, there was several women that came, and this one woman had asked us if we could come and look at this little boy. And so we slowly took the blanket off of him, lifted some of his clothing, and even as we did that, some of his skin was coming off. He was over 40% burned. You could smell the burning skin. It stunk very bad in that building. He had flies all over him. Debbie, who was on our team, who was a nurse, took a look at him, and she said, "We need to get him out of here now."
After we found Camerino, the team, as we sat there and we looked at him, we were just in shock at what had taken place. We all reached down and grabbed the plastic that he was laying on. There were about 6 of us, and we just gently picked him up. And while we were picking him up, Camerino was in such pain that you could just hear him going, "Oh, oh, oh," and he was screaming while we were picking him up. And all the while we were hauling him to the 4-wheel drive, and we gently slid him into the back of our truck.
Camerino was taken to the hospital where he received life-saving medical care. Today, he is living in Uganda, where he attends school. Camerino says he enjoys his English and science classes, and like most boys his age, he spends much of his leisure time playing football. James was only 9 years old when he witnessed the slaying of his parents and siblings at the hands of radical Muslim raiders. When the government of Sudan soldiers demanded that James convert to Islam, he refused, saying, "But I'm a Christian." The angry soldiers threw James on a fire. He was badly burned and left for dead. VOM missionaries recently visited James in a displaced persons camp where he lives with his grandmother. James is a sad young man who still deeply mourns the deaths of his family members 3 years after they were killed.
I could cry still thinking about them, but they are not more.
James smiled with the joy of Jesus when VOM friend Tom Zarowski presented him with his first Bible, a gift from a little girl from New York.
This is her own personal Bible, and she said, please give it to someone special in South Sudan. And so I thought you would be a good person to give it to. Do you like that? Yeah, good, huh? Praise God.